Yeah, last summer in Madrid was rough. So this year, we made a plan. We rented a house for the whole month of August in Galicia's green and temperate Rías Baixas region, right on the Atlantic in northwestern Spain.
This is the reason we came to northern Spain this August. All of this. It's currently a perfect 19 degrees Celsius or just below 70 Fahrenheit.
And we weren't the only ones. Spain's temperate northern climes are becoming increasingly popular with tourists and people moving to this country.
So in this video, we're going to take you on a day in the life of our holiday in northern Spain and share some of the reasons we think this part of the country is becoming the new cool place to visit in all senses of the word. From green hills to white sand beaches to delicious fresh seafood, it really is a wonderful part of the country. But let's kick off with the grand tour of the rather grand home we rented.
We're in this secluded little forest, which was all albariño, the local grape was grapes, like vines up here. And then, no longer obviously, but what we actually have is the old winery, which is not particularly attractive. We don't use any of this. Where we're staying in is the house.
Well, we're planning to start making wine soon.
Are we?
No.
Okay, come for the wine. So what we are staying in is the old house. I don't want to spend too long giving you the tour of the house because one, it's a mess. Family on holiday with a baby. And two, it's not really what we came for and it's really basic, right? Is that your Minnie Mouse, Yoly? You left that out? I told you to put that away.
I know, I'm sorry.
So embarrassing. Kitchen, really simple kitchen, but does the trick. Heading through 2 bathrooms, just a simple bathroom here, and one with a shower here. This is what we call the conservatory, where Yoly keeps her dolls.
My dolls and my, little swimming costume.
Yeah, is this yours, Yoly? You might be wondering, for all this beautiful, cool weather, is it pool weather? And I mean, this is amazing. Look at this lawn and this beautiful saltwater pool. And so you're wondering, like, would you use a pool if you come for a holiday in Galicia? And it's so cool because where we are is we're on the Atlantic, we're not on the Med. So it has this cooling influence, this mild, slightly damp weather. But have we used the pool, Yoly?
Yes, we have.
But while climate is the main reason why we came here, what that climate gives to this region is its beautiful greenness and all the wonderful trees. And this property that we've rented has something pretty unique to offer. So let's go and check that out now. I'm gonna be honest, as a Kiwi living in Madrid, I miss verdant nature a little. So I love the north's rolling hills and forests, and this house we've rented is surrounded by a mind-blowing 150,000 square meters of forest cut through with winding trails. Yep. Overkill, I know, but there you go.
This was all vines. This was all albariño, the local grape, and then was planted by the grandfather of the current owner, and then it got sort of divided up amongst various grandkids, and now it's just sort of forest.
And there is mint all covering the ground, everywhere.
Oh,
They
it
look
shows.
pretty, look at this. That's all mint there.
Just wild, yeah?
Mint, peppermint, I don't really know, the difference, but wild, growing like that. Beautiful.
Mint
I
or
mean, you can
peppermint?
actually smell it like everywhere.
Really? I can't smell
yeah.
the wild mint. I can smell
That's
it if
why I'm the super taster and you're not.
I can smell it if I stick it up my knob. Okay, I think it's peppermint. It's like, can you see ghosts and stuff? Can you?
Smelly ghosts only.
All these eucalyptus trees kind of blew me away when we came up here. And they're not native. Native trees here are chestnut and oak. But what happened in the 1950s, the central government incentivized people to plant eucalyptus, or at least started planting eucalyptus to create pulp, to make paper. But it was a bad idea because it's just taken over. These eucalyptus trees have taken over. And they actually, because they burn really easily, it's created a bigger problem for wildfires. So there's actually volunteers who are going around and cutting down or stripping these trees so that they die, and then replanting them with indigenous species of trees, the oak and the chestnut. But this I love. This is a beautiful tree, and I suspect, well, let us know in the comments if you know what this is. I suspect this is this a chestnut? This is what we want more of in Galicia, if this is indigenous to here, which I believe it is. Maybe it's not a chestnut. I have no idea, but look at the shape. It's just beautiful. I don't know if you can see it behind me. This gorgeous canopy.
But we're not going to hang about on our massive estate all day long. It's time to explore further. And for that, in Galicia, ideally you have a car.
Car we found is quite handy to have because of trips to see other towns or go to the beach or even doing the shopping. It's quite handy to have.
And while you need a car to get around when you're up here, you might also be wondering, how do you get here? How do you get to this part of Spain? So, I mean, obviously train is great. There's train connections up to Vigo, a city nearby where we are, Pontevedra. There's also an airport in Vigo and an airport in Santiago de Compostela. All right, let me get out for a sec because this is a great spot to show you where we are. We're in the Rías Baixas, which means the lower estuaries, and this is one of them here. This is the Atlantic Ocean out here, and this is the estuary, or the Ría de Pontevedra. And people have homes kind of on the hills, on the slopes, and they have a lot of land. Look, these people have, it looks like an olive tree. They have fruit trees here. Over here, they've got grapes, their own grapes, which presumably maybe they're making their own wine. And one thing you'll see out there, I'm not sure if you can see it on the GoPro, are these little rafts. Those are what are called bateas in Spanish. They're rafts for cultivating mussels. Mussels have been cultivated here since the 50s with the system. There's about 3,000 of them throughout this Rías Baixas region, where the rafts have ropes dropping from them, and mussels grow on the rafts. And Galicia, after China, is the world's second biggest producer or supplier of mussels to the world.
But while the climate and greenery drew us here, there's something we've discovered that we didn't really expect. We're staying near the old fishing town of Bueu, and while it's not the most beautiful seaside town, it has wonderful slow local rhythms, a far cry from some of the more intense summer hotspots on Spain's Mediterranean coast. But the seafood market, open most mornings, is always bustling.
This is buey de mar. Huge, biggest crabs here, I believe. Bogavante, lobster, crayfish, I never know which is which. Nécora, velvet crab, we're gonna try some of that today. Mussels that are cultivated here, clams, literally like a seafood Shangri-La.
Outside the market, locals sell fresh fruit and vegetables, much of it grown on their own small plots of land.
Así que es todo pequeña producción. Sí. Oh, wow. It's a different experience coming here in summer. It's not just rows of sort of businesses and tapas bars and the beach. It's like there's a market and there's locals selling their own products to, well, not tourists, but other locals as well. What I wanted to kind of share with you guys is that this town is an old fishing town. It's got some nice beaches along here. There's currently a couple down there, hardcore beach people here in the morning. It's not full on like it might be in other parts of Spain. And the people feel different. Like it's a different mix of people than you might get in other sort of tourist spots in Spain,
Definitely,
right?
way more Spaniards. You don't really hear English or other languages so much spoken. Portuguese sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel way more local within, Spain.
Do you know where we're going, Yoly?
We're going up.
Up, up, up.
Up, 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 up.
We found a place up in the hills near where we're staying that has become kind of like our little Casatonia, our happy place here in Bueu. We're gonna head up there now because it's really local and super cool, and the food is delicious.
Off you go.
All right.
Welcome to Fariña, a little place in the hills we love. Blink and you'll miss it. It doesn't even have a sign on the front.
One of the things I love about this bar is that the menu is just this, and no prices, nothing.
It's been run by Christina's family for the last 50-odd years and serves fresh seafood right from the estuary's waters.
Una variada de pescado y una ensalada. This looks like water, but it is half a bottle of Albariño, the local wine. Totally unlabeled, just, that's how it is. Not in a wine glass. So here we have the empanada, which is one of the classic dishes here, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, in Madrid, the empanadas never taste like they do in Galicia. These are always
very
better,
different.
right?
Yeah, but also this is with cornbread, which
Yeah.
you don't get in Madrid.
No,
I mean,
right?
No, I don't know of any places that do it.
So seafood, so sofrito, like a little peppers fried down, and then this
And
has
onion.
sardines. Oh yeah. So good. Such a classic dish here. So this is velvet crab. I called it red velvet crab in the market, which is the name of a cake, not a crab.
My technique is just to crack along,
Crack alone or crack along? She always cracks along.
and then just work my way through it.
Glad you did your nails. I know,
Yeah,
that was a concern yesterday before filming.
Look. Oh, I'm getting something.
Did you get some meat?
Yay! It's lovely, sweet crab meat, you know?
Sweet crab meat.
Yeah.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias.
Qué rico, gracias.
Gracias. This is Galician style octopus, which is boiled and is covered in olive oil, salt, and paprika. This is the place to get great octopus. Oh. So perfectly cooked, so tender.
One great thing from the times that we've come here is that we always make friends with the people alongside on other tables. I don't know, it's just like a great vibe, you know, like
Yeah.
everyone seems to kind of know each other and it's like everyone is in a really good mood, you know?
Qué bien. So we've got the variada de pescado, a selection of local fish. Salmonetes, these are like little sardines. These are like, I don't know what they are, but whatever, they're delicious. Got some chips to keep the child happy while we're filming. And this. And this salad needs a particular introduction. Everywhere we go in Galicia, there is an option to order this salad. Tomato, lettuce, onion with a simple vinaigrette. And oh my God, it is so good. So you're just peeling it off. You seeing this, Yoly? You're seeing just like, and I kind of like that it's kind of slow eating because you have to take time, right? To make sure you're not gonna choke on a bone. Lucia's serving me with the guarnición. Just like beautifully cooked fish, you know? Bueno, Cristina, muchas gracias. Nos vemos la semana que viene. Perfecto.
Confession. I have a weird relationship with sand, and I can't handle intense heat. In short, I'm not much of a beach bum, but the beaches up here have won my approval. Not too busy, not too hot. And yeah, there is sand, but what can you do? So next, we're heading to our favorite beach so far. And while Yoly accompanies Lucia for her nap, let me show you the most beautiful beach access I've ever experienced.
So the sun is shining, it's warm, but it's not too hot, and that for me is the ideal beach weather. For non-beach lovers, if you're not beach obsessed, and even if you are beach obsessed, I think this kind of suits everyone a little bit. And I just look at this. You got, I mean, I sound like such a city slicker again. Tomatoes on the vine up here, corn, these little plots that you'll see all over Galicia. Look at this place. That's a serious gate. Should we peep through? Very cool. Beware of the dog. I just love this walk to the beach so I can peer into people's plots. I have plot envy. Look over here, grapes on the vine, just beside the walk to the beach. Look. And these guys have got quite a lot, so maybe they're making their own wine, maybe it's for personal use. They've got red down here. I'll keep going until someone shouts or I hear shots fired. Look, you got red as well, not just Albarino. It's beautiful, huh? So even if you hate the beach, you get to walk through vineyards en route, which makes it bearable.
But to prove to you that the water really is wonderful, here are some quick clips of me frolicking a few days earlier. Just what you always wanted to see, right?
I tell you what, it's cooler than the Med, but it's really refreshing.
But there is one thing I do love about beaches, and it's a drink at a chiringuito, a little beach bar, like this one. And what I adore about the chiringuitos here in Galicia is that they're just simple affairs, a little hut with chairs and tables on the beach, just like how they used to be.
Okay, here they come. It's like you're crossing the desert.
It kind of feels like that.
Question,
Yeah.
is this sand white or is it off-white?
Ugh. I would say off-white.
Oh, really?
It's not quite white.
Ah,
No.
damn. Qué bien. Muchas gracias.
One thing I'll add about these beaches that I've been seeing in Galicia is that usually there are way more people on the sand than in the water.
Yeah.
Probably because it's usually not as inviting. The temperature of the water just a little bit cooler. Very refreshing, very nice. And also it's not as hot outside, right?
Yeah.
So you can more or less be without having the
be.
need, right?
The sun is going down, and before we finish our day together, there is a place we've discovered that we want to show you that, you know, I think is pretty special. So let's go and check that out.
If I'm not a beach person, well, Yoly and I are not really a hiking couple. But when in Galicia, you really do need to put your walking shoes on.
We're getting serious. We're getting the sneakers on. Are you doing okay there? Hiking couple in
People are
action.
going to see my breast.
No, that's the whole idea of the scene. Yeah.
Is it this way?
Yeah. So we've left all the cars behind.
This is when it gets real serious.
Did you bring the tent? We don't even have water. No, we have water.
We'll have Lucia's water.
Just to walk up there.
Okay.
What do the ancient Greeks say? Call no man lucky until he's dead. This may be the,
Is that Roman? Is that Celtic?
the Roman roller coaster. Glad we haven't got the stroller. That'd be a nightmare. Often though, it must be said, I want to do something like this and you'll think it's a bad idea, but you're glad when we get to the top.
Yeah. 40% of the time.
Fingers crossed, this is 40% of one of those times.
Mira.
The woman up front just said, wow, that was worth it.
Are you sure you're not making it up?
No.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, very lovely. Wow, that's awesome.
Wow, it is beautiful
It is
up
gorgeous.
here. To quote the lady, it's worth it. They should put it on the t-shirts for this place. It's worth
It's
it.
worth
Don't
it.
worry. And you can see over here the Ria de Pontevedra, the Pontevedra estuary, the one that we're staying on. The Thiers Island, also beautiful to visit. And the Vigo estuary, another one through there. And there's something I want to show you over here. These buildings, these low buildings with rocks. This is a castro, what's called a castro, and it's a hilltop fort, and they're from the Iron Age. They're over 2,000 years old, I believe. I'm not an archaeologist, but from what I've read. And you'll find them all through Galicia and other parts of northern Spain. People would live here and in the land around and farm the land, and they would come up here when they needed defense. There's more over there, down here. And the people who lived here before the Romans were the Celts. Celts were people who lived all over Europe, and they built these castros, these hilltop forts. And in the last sort of 100, 200 years, Galicia has gotten more in touch with its Celtic past. And it's something they're really proud of. People lived in here. You can see what may have been some sort of oven here. Look at this. Still intact. All right, let's strap the baby on and get back down. My turn, right? Oh, and before I forget, if you want to see some other videos that we've made about Galicia, because we have made a couple, there'll be a playlist appearing around my head somewhere right now. So click that and we'll see you over there soon. Ciao.